and isolated roads across the world. Some encounters were brief. Others were captured on camera. In this compilation, you will see the strangest Bigfoot sightings, disturbing evidence, and encounters ever recorded.
What the? Dude, hold on.
Stay tuned and watch till the end. A strange piece of footage spread online showing what appeared to be a massive Bigfoot-like creature standing inside a brightly lit enclosure. At first, many viewers assumed it was simply part of a television production or staged attraction. But as people focused on the creature's towering size, thick fur, and intense expression, the clip quickly became more unsettling. The figure looked surprisingly realistic, causing some viewers to wonder whether the footage captured something far more unusual than ordinary entertainment. Supporters claimed the movements and appearance felt too convincing to ignore, while skeptics argued advanced costumes and editing could easily explain the scene. Even without proof, the mysterious recording gained attention because it played directly into the long-running fascination surrounding Bigfoot stories and the possibility that such a creature might truly exist somewhere hidden from the world. Brief understanding.
Please, stop! Please! Please!
A hunter deep in the woods spotted something moving toward him fast. A Bigfoot, visibly worn down, with matted fur, breathing hard, carrying the marks of something it had recently been through. It stopped a short distance away, hands shifting nervously, eyes locked on the man with an anger that sat right on top of something else. He prepared himself, and then he saw it. Behind the aggression was exhaustion, and behind that, something that looked like fear. He didn't reach for anything, he just stayed calm, and slowly that heavy breathing began to settle. For a brief moment, something passed between them that neither side could have planned for. Then, the Bigfoot turned and walked into the trees and was never seen in that area again. Hank's story.
Initially claims he shot and killed Bigfoot, and thereafter he releases these shocking photos to prove it.
On the 6th of September, 2012, a 911 call-out of San Antonio reported a massive fur-covered creature feeding on a deer in the woods, and Bigfoot tracker Rick Dyer decided to move on it. Using deer, urine, and pork ribs as bait, he constructed a careful trap, hanging the draw high and spreading the scent wide below. He claimed it worked. Emerging from his tent late that night, Dyer alleged he encountered an 8-foot, 800-pound Bigfoot he later named Hank. Photographs of the creature spread rapidly, and Dyer displayed what he claimed was the preserved body in a plexiglass enclosure, though from the beginning, the authenticity of everything he presented drew serious and widespread doubt. Jungle vanish. Two friends moving through a jungle and filming their journey stopped when something ahead brought everything to a halt. A figure stood among the trees, its dark, fur-covered frame absorbed almost entirely by the shadows around it. It held completely still, the kind of stillness that felt less like an animal freezing and more like something that knew exactly what it was doing. Then it stepped into the dense foliage and was simply gone.
Before you took the camera away from me. You ripped that camera out.
The two friends stood frozen, their expressions doing the talking while the camera kept rolling. They followed the path where it had disappeared and found nothing. No movement, no sound, no trace that anything had been standing there at all.
Before you took the camera away from me. You ripped that.
Forest encounter. Two hikers caught something emerging from a forest clearing that stopped the conversation entirely. A brownish-orange figure moving with a muscle definition and fluid stride that skeptics immediately called a costume. But those who looked closer pointed to the sheer scale of the frame and the way each movement connected shoulders, back, and legs, working together in a pattern that no suit has been convincingly built to replicate. The footage carries no location, no verified source, and no clean resolution to the debate it started. What it does carry is a realism that has kept people returning to it for years, unable to fully commit to either side of the argument. The Protector. On Independence Day 2010, footage emerged from a remote wooded location that pulled cryptozoologists and skeptics into the same heated conversation. A large Sasquatch-like figure moved through the trees with an upright gait and heavy gorilla-like build, then noticed the camera. It pulled back behind a rock, and when it reappeared, something had changed. Held against its body was a younger one, shielded deliberately as it moved. That single protective gesture gave the footage a weight that pure shape and movement alone couldn't carry. The leg motion visible in the clip sat outside normal range for any known animal. No cameraman identity, no confirmed location. The question of what this actually was never closed. Field crossing.
What the? Dude, hold.
In June 2001 on Prince Edward Island, a man running from a wildlife encounter through an open, grassy field had his camera pointed forward and accidentally captured something else entirely. In the background, a massive dark figure crossed the frame at speed and disappeared into the bushes within seconds. The man followed, reaching the spot almost immediately. Nothing was there. No movement in the brush, no tracks, no sign that anything had just passed through. The figure's size and pace ruled out straightforward explanations, and the footage has remained unresolved since sitting in that uncomfortable space between a known animal, a creature of folklore, and something that hasn't been named yet. Hunting encounter. On the final day of a hunting trip, a hunter waiting near an elk wallow experienced something he never expected to see. Less than 20 feet away, a massive, fur-covered figure slowly appeared from behind the bushes. The creature's large eyes, dark nose, and wild hair became visible as it cautiously peeked toward the hunter. According to the footage, it seemed fully aware of being watched because its movements looked careful and nervous rather than aggressive. The hunter quickly zoomed in, capturing several tense moments before the figure suddenly disappeared back into the forest. Ever since the clip surfaced online, viewers have debated whether it showed a genuine Bigfoot encounter or simply another strange misidentification hidden deep within the wilderness. Bluff Creek. The famous Patterson-Gimlin film, recorded in 1967 at Bluff Creek, California, remains one of the most discussed pieces of Bigfoot footage ever captured. The short clip shows a large figure walking upright through the forest, before briefly turning toward the camera. For decades, researchers have studied the recording closely, focusing on details like the creature's body shape, muscle movement, and unusual walking pattern. Some experts argue the footage looks too natural and detailed to be explained by a simple costume from that time period. Others remain skeptical and believe it may have been an elaborate hoax, carefully staged for attention. Even after more than half a century, the film continues to divide opinions and keeps the mystery surrounding Sasquatch alive for new generations. Forest Rider. While driving his ATV through thick forest trails, a man suddenly noticed a massive figure moving slowly between the trees ahead of him. At first, he struggled to understand what he was seeing, but as the shape became clearer, he believed he was looking at something far from ordinary. The enormous figure walked heavily through the woods, completely unaware it was being observed. Shocked, the man stayed silent and continued watching as the creature calmly moved deeper into the forest. Within moments, it disappeared behind the trees, leaving the woods completely still again. The brief encounter stayed with him long afterward because of how real the sight felt in that isolated area. For many viewers online, the footage became another unsettling addition to the growing mystery surrounding Bigfoot legends. Ground find. Moving through the night, a man noticed something on the ground ahead that felt immediately out of place and moved closer. What he found lying completely still was a creature smaller than a full Bigfoot, but carrying features pulled straight from those descriptions. Broad, thick limbs, an unusual face, and a build that fit nothing in ordinary wildlife. The size was what confused him most. Too small for the legend, too strange for anything else. He captured it on camera and left without answers. Skeptics have suggested it could be a known animal with misleading features, but the details in that footage haven't settled cleanly into any explanation that fully accounts for everything visible in the frame. Ontario figure. A hunting camera hidden deep within Ontario's wilderness captured footage that quickly started heated discussions online. In the short clip, a large, hairy figure appears, partially concealed behind several trees, making it difficult to identify clearly. Some viewers immediately believed the shape and posture pointed toward possible evidence of Bigfoot moving through the forest. Others argued it was more likely a large bear standing awkwardly or rubbing itself against the trees nearby. Because the footage lasts only a few moments and remains unclear, no one has been able to fully confirm what was actually recorded. Still, the strange movements and imposing appearance were enough to keep the debate alive online. Whether bear or something more mysterious, the clip continues to leave viewers divided even today. Tree climber. While exploring a forest in 2022, one person captured a strange moment high above the ground among the trees. Clinging tightly to a trunk was a small, dark figure that many viewers later connected to stories of a young Bigfoot. Its black fur blended almost perfectly with the surrounding shadows, while its arms and legs wrapped naturally around the tree like an experienced climber. The creature's face remained mostly hidden as it stayed still among the branches. Quietly, the explorer filmed the scene for several moments before deciding to leave the area without getting any closer. The brief footage quickly spread online, with many people calling it one of the most unusual Bigfoot clips in recent years because of how lifelike the movements appeared. Trail evidence. A trail camera placed inside a restricted area captured footage that many Bigfoot believers quickly described as powerful evidence. Hidden behind thick bushes was a massive, fur-covered figure moving through the forest with surprising strength. The creature appeared to gather pieces of wood before snapping branches and throwing them with force into the surrounding area. According to viewers studying the footage, the actions looked deliberate, almost as if the figure was warning something nearby to stay away. Skeptics argued the clip could easily have been staged or misinterpreted, but supporters pointed toward the size and movements shown on camera. Whether real or not, the footage became another viral piece of evidence added to the endless mystery surrounding Bigfoot sightings in remote forests. 1,953 specimen.
My father acquired the Bigfoot September 23, 1953.
In September of 1953, somewhere in a swampy stretch of wilderness, a young male Bigfoot standing over 6 feet tall was reportedly found and preserved in a freezer, where it remained for the next 65 years. What made it unusual beyond its existence were the proportions. Its feet measured a size 9, oddly small for a frame that size, possibly an adaptation that helped it move undetected. Short, muscular legs and an extraordinarily powerful lower build suggested it could reach speeds uphill that no person could outrun. DNA testing was eventually attempted and returned corrupted results that pointed some researchers toward the possibility of something beyond terrestrial origin. The man sharing the story claims there are now multiple specimens.
Now we have both male and female of this species. We have many specimens to look at.
Frozen hand. The man who claimed a leading role in the Bigfoot research community presented something he said had been sitting frozen since 1953, a preserved Bigfoot hand passed down from his father. The story behind it described a creature so large it had to be taken apart to be moved out of the swamp where it was found. He pointed out the translucent nails and the dermal ridges along the palm details that drew attention on their own.
Notice the fingernails. I don't know if you can tell,
But the feature that stopped people entirely was something else. Metal objects placed near the hand were drawn to it, clinging without explanation, as though pulled by something invisible running through it. He believed that pointed towards something beyond this world. Not everyone agreed, but not everyone walked away entirely sure he was wrong either.
Congealed frozen blood on it.
Mysterious head.
This head here is extremely heavy, and remember, it's desiccated because it's been frozen.
In 2021, a video surfaced showing a man holding what he claimed was a Bigfoot's head preserved after an encounter deep in the woods that didn't go the way he expected. He described finding the creature, but when he returned to retrieve the body, it was gone. Only the head remained. Tangled hair, a thick beard, a wide jaw lined with sharp teeth, and yellowed eyes that made it difficult to look at directly. He had managed to preserve it briefly, but it began showing signs of deterioration faster than expected. The body, he explained, had been too large to move through the swamp intact. Where it went after that, nobody has answered.
They couldn't get it out of the swamp without dissecting.
Silent watcher. On October 26th, a trail camera near a forest construction site captured footage that quickly unsettled viewers online. In the background stood a towering figure estimated to be nearly 9 feet tall, silently watching a worker operating heavy machinery nearby. The man appeared completely unaware of the presence behind him, while the strange figure remained motionless near the edge of the trees. Many people focused on its unusual height and broad posture, arguing it looked far too large to be ordinary. Some believed it may have been a curious Bigfoot observing the construction activity, while skeptics suggested it could have been someone wearing camouflage clothing or a costume. Since the footage offered no clear explanation, the identity of the mysterious watcher remains completely unknown even today. Wilderness giant. Deep in the Canadian wilderness, a wildlife trail camera captured footage that many viewers called one of the clearest Bigfoot sightings ever recorded. Triggered by movement and heat sensors, the camera revealed a massive figure standing above the surrounding vegetation. Experts studying the footage estimated the figure could have stood between 9 and 10 feet tall, far larger than an average human. Zoomed-in frames appeared to show broad shoulders, a muscular body shape, and unusually long arms. Unlike many blurry or distant sightings shared online, this clip seemed surprisingly detailed, which is why it spread so quickly across the internet. Skeptics still argued it could have been an elaborate setup, but supporters believed the footage looked far too convincing to dismiss so easily as another forest hoax. Blurred ending. A hunter moving through a dry, grassy area captured footage he would later struggle to explain. While tracking through the field, he spotted a large figure casually walking in the distance without noticing it was being watched. According to the hunter, the creature moved calmly and slowly, almost lost in its own direction as it crossed the area. He continued recording this strange encounter while trying to stay hidden from view. But just as the figure disappeared farther into the landscape, something unusual happened to the camera itself. The lens suddenly became distorted and blurry, making the footage almost impossible to see clearly before it abruptly ended. Whether it was a simple camera malfunction or coincidence, the strange timing only added more mystery to the unsettling recording afterward. Midnight capture. On the 27th of October, 2023, hunters checking trail cameras in a remote forest discovered footage that quickly raised questions online. At around 10:26 p.m., the camera first recorded an armed police officer carefully walking through the area at night. Just 3 minutes later, another figure appeared on the same camera. This time it was a tall bipedal shape covered in dark fur, reportedly standing close to 8 feet tall with a broad, imposing frame. The timing immediately fueled theories about why the officer had been there moments earlier. Some viewers believed authorities may have already been investigating reports connected to the creature, while skeptics insisted it was probably a person wearing heavy camouflage gear. Even so, the figure's unusual proportions kept the mysterious footage difficult for many people to fully ignore. Blue Mountain Tracks. Back in 1991, a former U.S. forest patrolman and his co-worker traveled deep into Washington state's Blue Mountains near Mill Creek, searching for signs connected to Bigfoot reports. During their trip, they discovered hundreds of large footprints spread across the area, convincing them they may have entered a Sasquatch hotspot. Excited by the discovery, they created plaster casts of the tracks to preserve the evidence. The strange findings did not stop there. In 1992, the pair reportedly filmed a large figure near D Spring while finding even more footprints nearby. Then, in 1995, massive 14-inch tracks were discovered at 5 Points, suggesting something enormous may have been roaming through the forests for years. Even today, those discoveries continue fueling debate among Bigfoot researchers and skeptics alike. Camp intruder.
I don't... Sorry, I'm shaking.
A video surfaced on the internet.
A man camping deep in the northern forests of the United States decided to place a trail camera near his remote campsite, hoping to record deer and other wildlife passing through the area. Instead, the camera captured something that quickly shocked viewers online. Emerging near the tent was a gigantic figure covered in long dark hair, standing far taller than an ordinary person. According to the footage, the creature did not simply wander past. It appeared to strike the tent with a large branch, as if trying to warn whoever was nearby. Just as the clip became more intense, the recording suddenly ended without explanation. Some people believe the camera may have been damaged or stopped recording unexpectedly, while others focused on the final close-up frames, showing how close the encounter actually became.
It's not like fear. It's just... No. Not now.
Valley figure. One quiet afternoon, a man standing on top of a hill noticed something unusual moving through the valley below. Hidden among dense bushes was a dark, humanoid figure covered in fur, slowly making its way uphill. Curious, he immediately began recording the strange sight from a distance. The figure's movements appeared calm and steady, but many details remained difficult to see clearly because of the surrounding vegetation. When the footage later surfaced online, viewers became divided over what they believed they were seeing. Skeptics dismissed it as another blurry recording, while others argued the figure itself seemed strangely distorted, something often mentioned in other Bigfoot sightings, whether caused by distance, camera quality, or something harder to explain. The unsettling clip left many people questioning what may exist deep within remote wilderness areas. Alberta sighting. In May 2024, a truck driver near the Sunchild First Nation experienced a moment he claimed he would never forget. As dawn broke over the industrial site, he walked toward his equipment and suddenly noticed a massive dark figure standing near the edge of the area. According to the trucker, the creature appeared enormous, possibly close to 11 feet tall. Shocked by its size and upright posture, he quickly backed away and returned to his vehicle. Before leaving, his dash camera reportedly captured a brief image of the mysterious figure standing motionless in the distance. The driver then sped away, unwilling to get any closer. Once the footage spread online, many viewers connected the sighting to long-running stories surrounding Bigfoot and Sasquatch encounters in remote Canadian forests. Shadow figure. A recently uploaded video quickly unsettled viewers after showing a huge shadowy figure standing near the edge of a forest. The creature remained perfectly still, silently watching from the darkness while blending almost completely into the surrounding trees. Its outline was visible just enough to make out a tall humanoid shape, which only added to the tension of the clip. As the camera continued focusing on the figure, viewers waited to see whether it would move closer or disappear deeper into the woods. Instead, the footage suddenly ended without warning, leaving no explanation for what happened afterward. That abrupt ending only fueled more discussion online. Some believe the video captured nothing more than a trick of shadows and lighting, while others felt the stillness of the figure made the encounter far more unsettling than ordinary wildlife footage. White creature. While filming near thick bushes in a remote wooded area, a researcher zoomed in on what appeared to be a pale figure hiding in the shadows. As the camera focused closer, something strange happened. The creature's large, dark eyes appeared to blink several times, instantly making the footage more unsettling. Convinced he had recorded a rare Bigfoot sighting, the researcher later shared the clip online, where it quickly divided opinions. Some viewers believed the unusual white appearance pointed toward a rare type of Sasquatch hidden deep in the wilderness. Others argued the figure looked far stranger than traditional Bigfoot reports and wondered whether it resembled something not from Earth at all. Because the footage never clearly revealed the creature's full body, the strange encounter continues, leaving more questions than answers for everyone who watches it. Mountain Guardian. During a solo hike through the mist-covered Appalachian Mountains, one hiker captured footage that many viewers later connected to Bigfoot legends. Standing partly hidden behind an old tree was a massive, dark figure that appeared completely motionless. Although much of its body remained concealed, the creature's presence was impossible to ignore. According to the hiker, it felt as though the figure was silently watching him from the forest without making a sound. For several long moments, neither the hiker nor the creature moved. Eventually, the hiker managed to capture the scene on camera before slowly backing away from the area. After the footage surfaced online, people debated whether it showed a genuine Sasquatch encounter or simply an unusual shadow among the trees. Still, many viewers described the figure as looking almost like a silent guardian hidden deep within the wilderness. Forest figures. Back in 2013, near a state park in Bradford, a man claimed he captured one of the clearest Bigfoot sightings ever photographed. While sitting inside his car near the forest, he suddenly noticed movement among the trees. Looking closer, he saw not one, but two massive figures standing deep within the woods. Estimating them to be around 7 to 8 feet tall, he quickly began taking photos before the figures disappeared from sight. The images later revealed large, shadowy forms partially hidden between the trees, immediately drawing attention online. One detail viewers focused on heavily was a bent speed limit sign nearby, which appeared twisted upward with unusual force. Supporters believed it pointed toward incredible strength, while skeptics argued there was no proof connecting the damaged sign to the mysterious figures captured in the photographs. Peekaboo Nightmare. A hiker settling in for the night felt the shift before he saw anything that quiet certainty that the darkness around him was no longer empty. He grabbed his flashlight and swept it across the trees. There, half behind a trunk, something was watching him, ducking and reappearing in a way that felt almost playful and deeply wrong at the same time. He kept the camera rolling and kept searching. Then it moved, launching toward him with no warning and no hesitation. He had just enough time to run. Whatever came out of those trees that night matched nothing in any wildlife record. Something raw and fleshy and built entirely for the dark. Goatman returns. A group of hikers heard rustling from the trees after settling in for the night and pointed a flashlight toward it, cameras ready, expecting wildlife. What appeared at the edge of the light had the rough shape of a wolf until the face came into focus, and that comparison fell apart immediately. Before they could process it, the creature pulled back into the darkness. They stood still, scanning, tense, and then it reappeared, this time much closer, stepping fully into the light with no attempt to conceal itself. There was no uncertainty this time. Every detail matched the Goatman from the old stories exactly. They ran, and the footage cut out shortly after. Bushcrawler. This man stepped outside after hearing something unusual near his house, a sound coming from the bushes that sounded off enough to investigate. He moved closer, camera out, trying to locate the source. Then the creature realized it had been spotted. It came out of the bushes low and fast, crawling directly toward him with the kind of urgency that suggested it had been waiting for exactly this moment. He turned and ran straight back inside. The footage isn't clean, but what moves through that frame doesn't resemble anything you'd expect to find outside a front door at night, and that detail alone is what makes it so difficult to set aside.
What is...
Glowing eyes. A group of hikers camping in the forest picked up something moving between the trees on camera. A glowing set of eyes drifting slowly through the dark, disappearing each time it passed behind a trunk. The camera kept panning, trying to hold it in frame. Then the person filming shifted slightly to the side, and the full picture opened up. It wasn't one set of eyes. There were many,